Welcome all of you to the next day's program on Fusion Procurement Implementation, Nana. And then if you have any doubts, you can write to me at nana.app60@gmail.com. I'll clarify all the doubts now. Fine. We'll now go ahead of this now. We are in the receiving part now. So let me go and share my screen now. So we are now into unordered receipts now. Fine. Yesterday we have completed substitute receipts. Now we are into unordered receipts. So this is a situation where what happens, it happens very frequently. That what happens, we have to go for unordered receipts. I have done it many times in my company actually. So let's go on and see this now, how this business process works now. So now minimize this and then go there now. So go there. So C00 is my line. Fine. C00 underscore EMP1 and then click on sign in now. Sorry, C00 underscore EMP1. So let me sign in now. So here what happens, we go there and then try to click on this receipts now. Fine, go there. And then we go to warehouse operations and then go to receipts. And then we are going to make an unordered receipt. We are going to make an unordered receipt. And then here it's not possible at all. If you click on this task carousel of the receiving, what happens against the unordered, we are not having a create unordered receipts at all. The create unordered receipts is not coming. And so what happens here, we have to come here as a create unordered receipts. It's not coming actually. So the create unordered receipts is not coming. So what happens, that is there on the receiving parameters. So we are going to make it enabled now. Fine, go there, take a copy of it now. Take a copy up to Control C and then Control T will be a new tab. Control V, paste it in an entry. So what happens, a new tab is getting opened up. And remember, one browser is for one user now. One browser is for one user. So if you want to have another user logged in, we have to go for another browser actually. Fine, click on setup and maintenance and then go to manage receiving parameters now. Any doubts? Then there you ask me. And manage percentage receiving percentage para percentage entry, manage receiving parameters, fine entry. So here we have to enable the unordered results. So here what happens, allow unordered results, I'm enabling it. Only when you put a tick mark, what happens, it will be possible for you to make an unordered result. Fine, click on save. And the receiving parameters, we are now saving it now. Fine, what is not done for C01 organization, fine, go there. And now what happens, you go there. And then here it's not coming. So let us go to some other, go to inventory and then come back to receiving again. And click on inventory and then come back to receiving receipts. And then here click on the what's called here. You can now see the create unordered receipt has come. So click on the create unordered receipts. I'm going to make a receipt now. Fine, click on it. So we're going to make a receipt. So item is what? It is C00. Sorry, it is C00. So I'll now give a tab. So once when you give a tab, it will be so you know. So let me choose the item rec test one. Fine, is a rec test is item. I'm loading it now. Fine, go there, click on OK. Rec test is item. And then go for 100 quantities now, or 101 quantities. And then here what happens? It can be sent to the receiving section only and not to the inventory at all. But location is mandatory. So you put it 000 and then the tab. So it will be a lock one. It will be coming. So I'll not choose lock one. So using lock one over here now. Sub inventory is not possible at all. Fine, because what happens, it is now going to the receiving section now. Somebody is disable it. Go there. Now what happens, it can only go into the receiving section. 101 is now received without any purchase orders. Click on create visit. Now what happens, a GRN will be created now. So the system will be creating a GRN. So it goes to the next screen, which what happens, you put with the packing slip number, shipping method, etc., etc. You complete it and then click on submit. By which what happens, supplier is required. Supplier is a mandatory one. Fine, go there. In eBiz also supplier is mandatory. So we go there and then put the supplier and then click on submit now. So 1005 GRN is now getting created for this. Now, if you want to deliver it, I cannot do it at all. Delivery is not possible. Fine, click on it and then try to deliver it now. So go there and then try to put away. 1005 if you want to put away, it is not possible because there is no purchase order at all against this. No, 1005, then give a tab. And then click on search now. The system will say cheapo. There is no such thing at all available. So we have to make a purchase order. So let us go on and make a purchase order. Control T and then Control V, and then let us make a purchase order for this 101 quantities of the red test item. Fine, click on it. Click on this home icon and then click on the procurement. You go to the procurement and then go to the purchasing. So let me make a purchase order. Yeah, tell me. Yeah.
So this functionality, is it like more like a distance receipt?
No, it's exactly same like eBay only. I have done this unordered receipts many times.
What I'm asking the business, business scenario.
The business scenario is same. I'm explaining you the business scenario. Say what happens in the morning. I'll be in need of 2 transmitters. So I will call Rosemont. They will say we are having it. So what happens? I will ask them to supply. There is no purchase order at all. On my verbal words itself, what happens? They will not supply. And then I will not inform the purchase officer that 2 transmitters are coming from Rosemont. You take care of it. This guy, what he will do is, what happens? He will now enable the unordered receipts and receiving parameters. And then what happens? The gate man will now make an unordered receipt. Fine. So once when the unordered receipt is made, what happens? The gate man will now instruct the man who is carrying the transmitters to go to blast furnace directly and then hand it over to Nana. So he will now come and then hand it over to me, and then what happens? I will now say material received at site.
Okay, so to meet the business requirement, they will be making the receipt first, and they will be associating the PO later. Right?
Exactly. To meet the business requirement, what happens? Because the receiving man is the ultimate, the requester is the ultimate person in the procure to pay life cycle. So everybody is a service provider basically. So he needs material means what? Everybody has to see to it that he is getting material. So now the purchase officer. I click on create order. Somebody's mic is on, please. What happens? I switch it off. C00. So I'm putting it over here now. So I'm now creating a purchase order for 101 quantities for the red test item. Go down. Click on plus now. Let me add the line now. Fine, let us see. 00. So red test is the item for 101 quantities. Go there. Other quantity is 101. So go to the schedule. I can give a date now. And remember, the receipt routing must be standard. It cannot be direct because it is an unordered receipt. And so what happens? You select it and then click on edit now. So you're going to make the receipt routing as standard. Go there. And then it's already standard, so no problem at all. Otherwise, what happens? It will not work at all. Click on OK. So this purchase order 2010 is now getting created against the 1005 GRN now. And now what happens? We're going to match it now. So once when you match, what happens? Then it becomes eligible for this. 2010 is submitted for approval. So we have already seen the put away has failed now for 105. If I click on search, it's not possible at all. So let us go and match this against the 2010 PO and then afterwards try to deliver. If I click on done now. So we're going to match it now. If I click on it, click on the carousel, task carousel, and then go to what? Match unordered receipts. So click on the match unordered receipts. So here what happens? I'm going to match it now. Go there. And the receipt is 1002. What happens? 1005. And then give a tab. And then click on search now. We're searching it. So select it. And then click on match now. So once when you match it, what happens? I'm going to match it. So against the 2010 purchase order number. Fine. There's line number 1. Document line number 1. And then shipment number. Shipment is basically schedule now here. And go there and then you're going to match it. So once when you match it, fine, you go there. There's 101 quantities receipt. Fine, click on submit. So the matching transaction is now getting the transaction match transaction is now completed. So click on OK. Now we can very well put away. Put away is very much possible. Click on done and then come out of it. And then now put away 1005. It's possible. Click on this put away transaction, put away receipts. And then here put the number 1005 and then give a tab and then say Gene Boom Ba and then click on search. It will come now. Just come now. Fine, select it and then you click on put away. So while putting away, what happens? You click on what happens? You go there. The quantity is not shown over here. Now find what is. And then you have to put away. When you're putting away, sub inventory is mandatory. Otherwise, it will not accept at all. Fine. It will not say it's okay. Fine. Go there and drop down the sub inventory and then do it now. So this completes the unordered receipt process now. So you receive it unordered way and then afterwards create a PO and then match it against the GRN and then afterwards put it. Any doubts on this now? So go there. We'll now go for the next process now. Fine. Process all lines together. Next is process all lines together and go there. And then click on done and then let's make a purchase order for 2 lines now. Fine. Go there. Click on it. And then create. Go there. Go to the purchasing. Go to the Oreo purchasing and then click on purchase orders. Let us make 2 orders and create order. So So it's C00. Supply side, fine, go there. Click on create now. Go down and then click on the plus now. Fine, we are going to add the item over here now. It's C00. I'm going to put item 1 first. So item 1, go 100 quantities now. And then go to the schedule. And then put today's date or whatever date is it. And then click on plus and then add one more line. Fine. You don't have any plus when you are in schedule. Fine. You have to go back to lines and then plus on fine. Click on lines and then upwards only you'll find the plus now. So go to the lines and then click on plus and then I'll add the second line over here now. And then go there. It's what I'll see 00. So it's a rec test. I'm putting it now. So go for 200 quantities now. You go to the schedule now. So here, click on this requested delivery date. The PD or NBD is mandatory here. Fine, one of the dates is mandatory. So go there, click on it now. Create 2 lines now here. Fine, go there and then click on submit for approval. Fine, 2011 has got 2 lines which we would like to receive together. So it's what is, you go there and then go to the overview of receipts and then go and then query the 2011 purchase order number. Click on the receive expected shipments and then put 2011. 2011 and then give a tab and then click on find now. Aye, it's not it come. Click on search. Vandichi. We got it now. If I click on OK. And then click on search now. Sometimes what happens, you have to give the date now. Fine. You will not select the control. I'm selecting both the lines now. And then click on receive now. Actually, what happens, this will not come at all like this now. Fine. Because what happens, we are not enabled it actually. I don't know which business process is making it basically on. Otherwise, what happens, multiple line selection is not basically possible actually. 1 second. Now go to the overview of receiving. Go there, here in this place. What happens? Process all lines together. Fine. If you put it, then only what happens? Ensure no processing of individual lines if all expected lines do not arrive actually. So this is another thing. If everything is not arriving together, what happens? We cannot process at all. That's what it is. Fine. There is a different altogether functionality, and I have not tested it actually. Fine. So now what happens? We can even very well do this over here now. Fine. I will now make a check of it. Fine. Now you click on the show receipt quantity. It will now showing you this now. Fine. Against this, what happens? We can now receive 1. Against this, we can now receive 2. And click on create receipt. It will now go there. If process all lines together means what? You cannot even select the single line at all. Fine. Click on cancel now. Fine. Once again, click on submit. So it's not done. Fine. We have got this much of a balance quantities here. Go there in the receiving and the receive is search for it. Fine. What happens? I will now process all lines together. I'm putting it and then click on save now. Fine. It's now saved. And then here go there expected receipt sequence. And if you click only on one line, that will have only one line and then click on receive. It should not allow me at all. It's allowing actually. Because that says what? If you go there and see this now. If you go, then you define ensure no processing of individual lines if all expected lines do not arrive. But I don't know. There is some functionality which is not exactly working here. I can just make a check of it now.
Nana, this is Virita.
Yeah.
How is this process all lines together functionality not well?
We don't have such a functionality at all.
So why do
We have a
we
functionality called express receipts. Fine. We have a functionality called express receipts. A similar functionality. But what happens again? What happens? You're going to query on a supplier actually. Once again, let me see whether that functionality is exactly here or not. Once again, instead of what happens, instead of querying it on what happens, I have to query on a supplier. Let us see whether we have this or not and cancel it. We have an express receipt. I have never done it. Let me query on the supplier now. Go there, click on it. Receive expected shipments. And then I will query on a supplier now. Let's see 00 and then your tab. So supplier 1, I'm going to make a query now. If I click on search now. Now it's showing something. Fine. There are 2 lines are there. Fine. Now what happens if you go and then select the first line and then try to receive? It should not allow at all. is allowing here. Basically. In an express receipt, what happens? It will now select everything together now. Fine.
Okay.
That here, what happens? That functionality, no idea. Fine. Just make a check of it. Fine. Now we had to manually select it. There, what happens? It comes automatically over there now. I don't know how to make an express receipt here. Right. That's not exactly clear on me. That has to be seen. What exactly it is. Next is what? Print receipt traveler. Let me enable my, I have not yet started my this thing at all. Let me go there and then start my EBIS basically. ebs.example.com. Now in EBIS, what happens? We have a profile option which will be printing this now actually. That will be printing it. And then here, what happens? That is now coming, not a profile, but it has now come as a receiving parameter actually. So we go there and then see this now. So this is now a receiving parameter here. I click on that now. So if you go there, here it is now a receiving parameter. Click on this now. So if you enable it, what happens? It will be printing on the printer now. Fine, print receipt traveler. Fine, click on save. Now, the moment you make a receipt, what happens? It will be printing on the receiver. Fine. So you go to the overview of receipts now, and then now we will make a receipt query now. I click on receive expected shipments. What is the latest number here? 2011, na? 2011, and then make a search for it now. And then now select it, one line, I'm selecting it, and then click on receive now. So if you click on the show expected quantity, it will not show you this now. Fine, against which what happens? Let me receive 2 quantities now. And then click on create receipt. So the GRN number gets created upon submission, and then what happens? It will be printed on the printer also. So 1007 is the GRN number, it is now getting created. And then what happens? It will be printing it. Now let us go on and see the concurrent program now. Fine, Control T, Control V, enter in. And then here, let us go on and have a look at the concurrent now. So the concurrent program will be running. Fine, click on this navigator on the left hand side top. And then here, what happens? Click on it. And then go there. And then click on the more. And then go to the tools. And then go to the schedule process. Tools and then schedule process. So we are going over there. And then here, you can now see the concurrent running up now. And then alongside the printer, what happens? It will be printing. So it has already completed. Fine, click on it. So the print receipt traveler is now completed. Fine, go there. And then here, if you go down and then see this now, fine. You click on republish now. Fine, click on it. You'll be getting it now. Fine, click on the republish button. Fine. When you click on it in the bottom, what happens? You'll be finding it. Click on republish. And then here on this wheel, click on this wheel actions, and then click on export. Export to a PDF now. Export to a PDF. And then I will open it on desktop now. Click on save now. So if you open up this file now, fine, select and then open it up. Receipt traveler, I'm opening it up. So once when you open it up, it will not show you as a 2-page one. Oracle has got 2 pages, but what happens? We have customized it for a company in Kuwait actually. So the first page will not show the company's logo, and then here what happens? The company's child dog, and then in the next page, what happens? It will not show you all of the details. So it will not show you what happens, who is the buyer, who is the what is the purchase document number, and then what is the due date, and then what is the quantity, how much has been received, everything it will not show you. Receipt quantity is true. What is the balance quantity which is remaining? But what happens is they have a standard stationery in which what happens is the technical team has basically formatted it in such a fashion that it will be printing it in the appropriate places, and they will now file it up for the future references basically. So this basically a custom. So the print receipt traveler is basically a profile in EBIS basically. Over there. So I will come there. It takes some time. Now, this is a beautiful functionality which is not available in EBIS at all. When a PO is closed, what happens? We cannot receive against it at all. We only have to ask the technical team to remove the close for receiving, or otherwise create another purchase order. So whereas here, what happens? We can include the closed POs for receipts also. That is one external functionality. We go there and see this now. Fine. Close it. Close it. And close it. And then there's the one. Also close it. Now we go there and then make a PO now. Receive expected shippers. Go there and then click a purchase order now. I'm now making a new PO now. So click on create order. We are now creating a new order now. So it's C00. Click on it. Select it. And then click on create now. Go down and then click on plus and then add an item over here now. So item is C00. So item 1, I go for 100 quantities now. Go to the schedule and then give the PD or NBD, the promise date or NBD date. Go there. One of them is the mandatory date. And then here what happens in the schedule, edit it. Fine, go to the edit, select it as an edit. Here what happens, I'm going to make a 5% reject now. Fine. So here what happens, the receipt close tolerance is 5% reject now. 5% reject. That means what? Against 100, if you have received 95 quantities, then what happens? The PO gets closed for it, and then afterwards it will never allow you to receive at all. You need this. And here it allows. Fine. So the receipt close tolerance is 5% reject. Fine. Action is reject. So you're going to see it now. Fine. You go there and then click on OK and then submit it now. So 2012, if you receive more than 95, the PO gets closed. And afterwards, what happens? You cannot receive any base basically. If you go there, you cannot receive it. And go there. First of all, now see the receipt traveler profile now. Go to the payables invoice. You come back here again. Fine. 2012, I'm going to make a receipt now. Fine. Click on done and then come out of it now. Receive expected shipments for 2012 PO. It is for 100 quantities with a 5% reject. Receipt close tolerance is 5% reject now. Fine. Go tab and then click on search now. You select it and then here what happens? Click on receipt. And then here you click on show quantity. It will not show how much is to be expected. Fine. I go for 96 quantities. So in eBiz also, if you receive 96 quantities, the balance 4 quantities cannot be received at all. You cannot receive it because it's a 5% reject. That means what? For the 4 quantities, he cannot supply a vehicle because the carrier cost will be more than the item cost. And so what happens? The companies do some 1% or 2% or 5% reject. Fine. Click on create. But this is not an admirable situation in the business basically. And then whenever they want to receive the balance 4 also, what happens? They have to create a new purchase order or ask the technical team to remove the, what happens, that particular field's tick mark and close for receiving. Then only you can do it. So what happens is no receive. Fine, go there and then try to make a receipt. Fine, go there. Click on receive expected shipments and then put 2012. And then give a tab. And then click on search. It will say Poda Ponga. Fine, it will not show anything at all here. Now what happens? Here we have one extra field. Fine, click on add fields. In the add fields, what happens? You can now see include closed purchase orders. You drop down the add fields and then go and then click include closed purchase orders. If you put it, what happens? One more extra field becoming here. What happens? You put a tick mark against this and then click on search. Now it will come. Vandichi, you got it. And then here what happens? There are 4 quantities are there against which what happens? You go there and then receive 2 more quantities. Is very much possible. And then click on create receipt. This is possible in Fusion, whereas this is not possible in Fusion at all, in eBiz at all. eBiz is not possible. In eBiz is not possible. So you go there. Fine. This is what the functionality is. But here, what happens in this place? I couldn't understand this now. Here, what happens? Include closed PO order for receipts. There is a tick mark there. Whether you put it or not, we can very well enable it in that place basically. Fine. You just analyze it. Fine. What for this tick mark is, and then whether you put a tick mark or no tick mark, we are able to receive it now. Actually. Go there, and then here, what happens? The purchase orders, if you see 2012, if you make a query, it will not still show you as what. If you go there and then click on manage orders and then make a query, 2012, if you make a query, 2012, and then give a tab and then click on search now. It's not coming up. Fine. Go there, you can see it's closed for a second. But even then, what happens? You can even receive the balance 2 quantities also. Fine. If you click on it, you can now see how much has been received against this now. Fine. So here, close for receiving has been done now. It's not showing you this now, but what happens? It doesn't show you the quantities basically. And that's on what happens. Your overriding of this function. So we go there and see this now. Still coming. We go for the next functionality. Go there. Allow routing override. If you go there and then see this now. Allow routing already. I'm going to see this now. We'll now click on done and then let us make a repeat purchase order of this 2012. I click on it and then go to manage orders. You go to the manage orders and then query for 2012 now. And then search for it. So it's coming up now. So here, select it and then what happens? Go to actions and then go to duplicate. Actions duplicate is basically a repeat purchase order. We are making a repeat purchase order on this now. And then here, what happens? You go there. And then now, what happens? The receipt routing is standard now. If you go and then submit for it now. 2013 is now getting submitted. The result routing is standard. Click on OK. Now, if you go there and then try to receive, we can receive in the receiving section only. We cannot, what happens? We cannot deliver it to supplementary. We'll go there and then try to go there and then click on what? Receive expected shipments and then go for 2013. And give a tab and then click on search now. Oh, it's not yet come. Now you go there and then switch responsibility to sysadmin and then have the print receipt traveler. Fine. Go there, switch responsibility to sysadmin now. Sysadmin and then here go to the profile systems and then go where is RCV percentage print percentage. Fine. You go there. So it's a print receipt traveler. The print receipt traveler is as a profile in EBIS, whereas here what happens is a receiving parameter. It's on the receiving parameter. Go there. And then 2013 and then give a tab and then click on OK. Search for it. Select it now. Now if you go and then try to receive it now. Fine, click on search. And then select receive. It can be received only in the receiving section. But some companies wanted to directly deliver it also. And because of some urgency, it is now asked for. If you go to the receiving section and then afterwards what happens, they will again examine it and then afterwards send it to the inventory. So it takes a longer time. So what happens? We can even have the option of even what happens delivering to the inventory directly. So here what happens? You go there and then here what happens? Allow routing override. If you allow the routing override during receiving, we can very well override the routing from receiving to inventory also. And click on select. Now that you go there and then cancel it and then requery it now. And then it's already come, I think. Click on result and you can now see it is editable now. So you can now see you can edit it. Now what happens? I go to actions and I will now split the line. I will now split the line. So originally is what is 100 quantities now. So this new line. So here what happens? I will now say it's I think 100 now. I will now say 98 is going to go to the receiving section, whereas 2 will now be delivered into inventory because it's urgent. I can deliver it. Since we need inventory, what happens? We will now put the sub inventory also. So since 2 quantities are urgently required, we are delivering it. The balance will be going through the normal route of receiving section. Since we have allowed the receipt override, allow receipt override, what happens? It is allowing you to what happens? Deliver it in different places. Click on create receipt and then click on submit. This completes the allow receipt override now. Go there. The next is blind receiving. Here it's not working. I don't know what is the mistake I'm making it now. Fine. I will not show you in EBIS about how it's working now. In EBIS it works perfectly, but I'm making some mistakes. I try to find out where exactly I'm making mistake. I go to the purchasing. And then here what happens? I go to the purchase orders. I'm going to make a purchase order for this now. Open up a purchase order. And then let me make a purchase order for this. And then I will now show you the blind receiving in EBIS now. Some functionality is missing, I think. I couldn't understand where exactly I'm making a mistake now. Somewhere some mistake is not. So let us make a purchase order and then what happens here? I'm going to make a 5% reject now. Fine. Again, 5% reject. Another 5%. It's a over zip tolerance I'm going to give now. Fine. Go there. Whether I have made on C00 any supplier. I'm not sure whether I made it or not. No, it's not there. I will not put E00. I think there is a supplier. Fine. E00 percentage or D00 percentage. So many batches I connected. Oh God, nowhere the supplier is made now. So I will now put advanced network devices now. And then Fresno is the one. The site. And then go there. I will now put an item over here now. It is 75% 01 and then give a tab. So I will now put some item over here now. And then go there. Go for 100 quantities now. If any of you are interested in learning EBIS, what happens? Again, the charges are same now basically. it's 25K per batch, and then you can even form a batch, so that what happens, it will be peanuts for you, for individual. So you can even learn it actually whenever you have time. So think over it, and then yeah.
Is it for the which module you are talking about?
Any module of EBS. Inventory, purchasing, order management, fine, procurement, sourcing, and then any other models specifically. Which are manufacturing of bomb and whip, fine, everything.
What about complete SCM modules, Nana?
That's what I'm saying. Inventory is a module. It will take approximately a month's time. Every model will be taking approximately a month's time, 1 hour duration or a month's time.
Yeah. Inventory, purchasing, and order management.
Yeah. You can think of even making a form a group, and then what happens, you can even think of conducting a training.
Okay.
I can even allocate the same slot of 10:30 for you, because since there's a batch there, so that block, that time I will allocate it to you. Right? If you have feel like what happens, you can even think of after I reach Madras. So discuss amongst you, and then what happens, you form a batch. Because the cost is not much, and so what happens, you can very well learn it to the proper extent. Maybe you may be knowing something here and there, but not everything. So that will teach you each and everything. So here what happens, I go there, I go to the shipments, and then here what happens, I go to the receiving controls. Dinesh will not be able to organize because he's already very, very tight, and then he has spent a lot of time in arranging this training itself. Fine. So somebody else take an initiative, and then what happens, I do it.
Actually, our friend Khalid is there. He will arrange everything.
Sure. Not a problem.
We're trying to find out some scapegoat. You go there, I will not put what I was over-receipt tolerance. Fine. That means what? We cannot receive more than 5 now. I'm getting a reject now. So over-receipt tolerance is 5. I'm setting it up. Fine. So that means what? More than 105 we cannot reject. It's a 5% reject. Fine. Click on OK. And then commit. So 5% reject, I have made it now. We cannot receive it. So now what happens? I am now going to approve it. This is not working in Fusion at all. Fine. In the Fusion, what happens? Let me make a parallel one. Fine. It's not taking a longer time for me to go there. And then go there, click on it now. So here, I go to the setups, and then here what happens? Enforce blind receiving, I'm enabling it now. And then I will now give a save. Enforce blind receiving is now enabled. And go there. Let me go to manage orders, and then click on done, and then let me create an item. Now what happens? This is not done. So go there, and then close it now, and then let us submit for approval. Fine. 6637 is now submitted for approval. Click on approve now. So once when you approve it, it will be getting approved now. Okay. So it's not getting approved here. What happens? You go there and then make a purchase order. Fine, click on it. So let me create a purchase order. It is C00. And then click on create now. Then go down. And then here I will now put a plus now. Let me put an item over here now. Over receipt tolerance, I'm going to put it now. Fine, C00. I'm now going to test the over receipt tolerance now. So put an item on. And then go for 100 quantities now. So go to the schedule and then edit it now. And then give the dates first of all. So today's date. And then select the line and then click on edit now. And then here go down. And then here I'm going to over receipt tolerance is 5% reject. Now we are previously receipt close tolerance we have said. Now over receipt tolerance is 5% reject. This reject is common for both basically. Both the over receipt tolerance as well as this one. So over receipt tolerance action is reject now. So 5% reject. That means what? If it is 100 quantities, we cannot receive more than 105 at all. So over receipt tolerance is now 5% reject. Fine, go there. And nothing else is there. Fine, go there and then click on OK. And then we are going to approve this. Click on submit. So 2014 is now submitted for approval. In the meantime, what happens? We go there and then we'll not try to what happens, receive this to 6637 and go to the window and then we get it now. Somebody is asking some question now.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah.
This over is a concept. Not a matter of content.
Your voice is breaking. Can you speak at a higher ways?
Okay. See, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So in this over as a concept, if I'm ordering 100 and I'm receiving 5, then the PO match is happening. Okay, if I'm matching the PO with the receipt, so there will be discrepancy. So always will there be a problem with the PO matching?
Yeah. See, not a PO match basically. See, when you make a receipt, you're going to receipt against the PO. You can very well always over-receive it. Fine. But if you know what happens, I'll not show you now what happens. I'm now making a receiving. So it is now 5% rejected as a 1. So if you go there 6637, if I'm going to make a query now, if you make a query for M1 organization, and then you can see it will not allow at all because it's a rejection. Many companies follow this now. Fine, 6637, and then give a tab and then click on query, find it out. So click on find, and then now close it now. And then select it now. Now what happens? I have now enabled the blind receiving there in the thing. So let me first of all disable the blind receiving. Here what happens? The receiving parameters is now enabled. Fine, you go there. You go to the setups organization and then go to receiving parameters now. So the receiving parameters, blind receiving is enabled because of which what happens is not showing as a 0 now there. Now if you disable it, it will not show you the 100 quantity now. The receiving options. If you go there, drop it down and then make the sale manufacturer and then you go. Let me disable this receiving now. So if you disable it and then make a query, what happens? It will not show you full 100 quantities. Against which what happens? We can now receive only a maximum of 105. Fine. Allow blind receiving is enabled. Fine. Let me disable it now. Fine. Click on save. So allow blind receiving is now removed. Fine. Click on save. So by which what happens? You can now see the changes are saved now. And close it. And now you come over here now. And now if you make a receipt, fine, you go to the receiving receipt for 6637. You cannot receive more than 5 because it's a 5% reject now. Right? It will not show you as 100 now. Fine, select it. And then if you put what? 110 now. And then give a tab. It will not say cheapo. I will not allow you. The maximum you can receive is only 105. So in such cases, what happens? You will not enable blind receiving. So once when you enable the blind receiving, it will not show you a 0 or the quantity is not shown to you exactly to the receiver. Fine. Previously I was showing 100 and then I will not say no. And then here you go there and then will not make what? You go there, go to the setups and then go to organization and then go to the receiving parameters now. And now what happens? You will now set to blind receiving is here. So you will now enable the blind receiving. Go there, serial manufacturing and then give a go. And then let me enable the blind receiving. Allow blind receiving. I'm putting a tick mark. And then click on save now. It's not done. Now if you go there and then make a receipt, fine, go there. And now what happens? Go to the receiving receipts. 6637. And then click on find now. Close it. Now it's not showing us 0. Against 0 we can receive anything. Fine, go there. So 200 quantities. And then make a receipt. Fine, control comment. So the sub inventory it is asking for. What are the stores now? Fine, go there. And then do it. Now it will allow you to receive. Fine, control commit. You can now see the receiving transaction is completed now. Fine. Now GL date is now. Please enter a GL date is an open inventory accounting period. So now we are coming to July and so whatever. The period is not open for M1 now. Fine, go there. Let me open up now. M1 period is not open. Right? Close it. M4 close it. No. So switch responsibility to inventory and then let me open up the periods. You go to the accounting close cycle and then inventory accounting periods for M1 or no. M1 or and now let me open the July period now. July is future. Fine, click on change status. So July is open now. Close it. And then switch responsibility to purchasing. 6637, I'm going to make a receipt now. Fine, M1 organization. 6637, and then you tab and then find it out. And select it. Then here you select it, and then against what happens? You put 200 quantities, control commit, and then stores is a sub inventory. Then go there, control commit. Now what happens? Please enter a GL date, which is no open. Purchasing period is also not open. Come on, yeah. Not open the purchasing period also. So let me open up the purchasing period also. And if since July has come now, what happens? Everything is coming here. What happens? You go there in the purchasing, go to setups, and then go to financials, and then go to accounting, and then go to control purchasing period. That is a navigation now. Set up financials, accounting, control purchasing period for July. We have to open it up now. Double click on it. Let me open it up now. So it's July -17, and then click on go now. I'm going to query it, and then it's never open. Make a change to open now, and then save it. This time it has to work now. Changes have been saved. Click on OK. Go there, and close this now. Fine, go there. Go to this place. And now
Again, GL period, I think.
GL period will have been open now. I think GL period is open. Otherwise, we cannot open the purchasing period as well. Fine. If the GL is not open, purchasing cannot be open. And go there, and then click on find now. So close it now. Select it and then go for it now. And 200 periods. Control commit and then I'll put stores. And then say die and then give a control S. Come on, it has to open. Working. Fine. Transactions complete and then go there and then do it. RTP is running now. Now what happens? You go there and then remove the blind. Otherwise, what happens? Gada, Goda, sab kuch andar ghus jayega. Fine. Go there, set up organization and then go to the receiving parameters. And then remove it. This will be done only for a few minutes now. Fine. Only for a particular action only they will not do it. So in our organization, what happens? It's done on a telephone itself. And go there and then allow. Otherwise, everything will go inside.
Nana, which situation we
see?
allow
I have done a lot of blind receiving. For example, I have now asked for some item 1 for 100 quantities. In the morning, it is going to come now. Fine. And then suddenly, what happens? It is always a 5% reject of a company. And then what happens? Suddenly, my team says that we want 150. I will not call the supplier directly. Are purchase orders are 400. Can you supply 150? Why not, sir? We will definitely supply. So, okay, supply 150 against the PO. And I will tell the PO supply purchase officer. I will now call as well as a mail that what happens against this PO 150 is coming. Please make arrangement for receiving. That's it. Because the requester is the ultimate person in the procure to pay life cycle. And then whatever he needs, everybody has to oblige. And then meet his needs basically. Now what happens? The purchase officer will now inform the gate man that when 6637 aayega, mere ko batao. So what happens? This guy, as soon as it comes 6637 with the DC, the 6637, what happens? You will now keep it aside and then he will now give a call. Now. He will now process the next person. So the purchase officer will now enable the blind and then up karo. Now what happens? This guy will now put 150 and then receive it and then sub kar diya. Then what happens? He will now remove the blind. So the entire operation will now within 2 minutes time over telephone itself. What happens? It will be completed. Then afterwards, what happens? The purchase officer will now amend the PO and then from 100 to 150 quantities. And then what happens? He will now give it to internal audit. Now, in our company, internal audit is there. So the internal audit will now examine the reason for the enhancement basically. And then what happens? I will be sending a mail to both internal audit as well as the purchase officer. And then my mail is sufficient because I am in the requester. And then if the internal audit feels that it is unnecessary or something like that, what happens? They will now report to my GM actually. This guy is unnecessarily purchasing something, this thing, that thing. Always audit will always scrutinize so many things. But my GM will not give any letter to me. Fine. He will not say, I will not ask. I will not give an explanation about why I asked for it. Then he will not ignore that mail from the audit. So this is the business process which happens in many companies now. Because what happens? They will now keep a check on this because of which what happens to control the spend, they will have a 5% reject. Got it?
Yeah, for example, if the GM or approval rejects that that amendment,
they won't reject at all. Fine, you are not supposed to reject at all. See, the item is already consumed. Where is the question of rejection basically? The requester has already consumed it. If nothing is received, then what happens? He can reject the PO. Supplier has already supplied it, and then I have already consumed it. As a requester, I have already consumed it. We only have to regularize it. And then what happens? We can even ask me next time onwards, don't try to do this now. Fine, like that only we can say this time is already come. There is no question of rejection. They only have to approve it.
okay.
They have to have it's basically a sort of a post-mortem sort of a thing. Fine. So next time what happens? You take care of it. That's how it will be done. You have to regularize this purchase basically. Otherwise, the supplier will not be paid.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Okay, fine, go there. Now, here, what happens if you see this now? What is the number here? Purchase order number. Anybody remember it? I forgot on that.
6637.
No, here, in this Fusion.
2014. Yeah, 2014.
2014. Okay, fine. Go there and then see this now. We'll now check Chalapati whether he's okay or not. Fine. 2014. So 2014 and then give a tab and click on search now. So select it and then what happens? You go there, click on receive now. Now you see the show receipt quantity is not coming at all. We cannot show at all. Against which what happens if you go for 200 quantities and then give a tab and then try to receive, create receipt. What happens? It says what? The receipt quantity must be less than or equal to available quantity. That's what it is saying. Or increase the over receipt tolerance. That they cannot do. It is a PO's decision now. This error message is coming. It should allow me. I don't know how to do this now. There is some mistake somewhere I'm making it. Whereas there, what happens? Only you put a tick mark against this now. Fine. Enable blind receiving. If you put a tick mark, it allows you everything. Got it now? Fine. So, but here, something else is to be done now. Fine. Even it is not allowing you to blind receiving. And if you don't put it, what happens? It will not give you a different error. Fine. If you do enable blind receiving, I'm not relieving it. Fine. Click on save now. Enable blind receiving is not enabled. Fine. Go there and then click on OK. Now error will be different now. Fine. Click on cancel. Select it and then give it. Blind receiving is not enabled. Now you will not show a quantity. Now against 100, if you want to receive 150, and then click on create receipt. Now it shows that what happens 150, you can receive only a maximum of 105. But if you enable it, what happens? It's now giving a different error, but the error should not come at all. Come on, I don't know why it's so. Khaled, come on, sit and then make an R&D. Fine. Vinay, you also make an R&D on this one. Fine. Why it's not working? What is the setup? What are the thing which is missing for me now? I couldn't understand this. I'm struggling on this. So this is on what your blind receiving. And there are other controls here. If you see this now, fine, there are other controls. If you go to this place. So we have completed everything over here now. Fine. This place shift to exception. Fine. If you go there, reject. Fine. So if you wanted to receive in Madras and then try to receive in Bangalore, it will not allow you at all. Fine, that you can try. Fine. AS is yet to come now actually. Fine. Advanced shipment notice and advanced shipment billing notice is yet to come. It's not coming. And then here if you put say 2 days and then if you say reject, then what happens? If you try to receive 2 days before the receipt date, it will not allow you at all. Similarly for the late receipt. Fine. You can have multiple options of none, morning and reject. And then the over receipt tolerance, whatever you're going to put it, that will be getting default into the purchase orders basically. Similarly, over receipt actions are also getting defaulted over there. Receipt floating, you can set it up over here. And then the receipt number is automatic over here now. RMA is for basically order management actually. So with this, we completed our discussions on the receiving parameters. Any doubts on this? Good. And then tomorrow we are tomorrow there is no class because what happens for Independence Day, we are going for a parade. We are going to witness a parade, and then afterwards we'll now dine in an Indian restaurant, and so I'll be coming late only after lunch only. So so we cannot have any class. And so what happens? The next class will be on Wednesday actually. So tomorrow or on Wednesday, what happens? We are going to begin with what happens to payables, pushing into payables now. So we are going to push it into payables. So we have to set up the payables, invoice options, and then address, push it in there, and then see this. Any doubts? So the next session begins on Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. So if there is no other doubt, we'll not call it a day now. Fine. Bye.
Thank you, Nana.
Bye. Bye.